Hello everyone and welcome to RadioCSIRT English Edition, your daily appointment with cybersecurity news. I'm Marc-Frédéric Gomez, your French cybersecurity voice for today's threat landscape. I hope you're doing well. Today is Saturday, December 20th, 2025, episode 56. Recording from Valence in France. Today's agenda: North Korean infiltration at Amazon. A North Korea-linked operative was identified through abnormal keyboard latency. Abuse of IT subcontracting chains, intercontinental remote control, and a documented increase in fraudulent hiring attempts. ATM jackpotting campaigns in the United States, deployment of Plutus malware through physical access to ATMs, internal storage manipulation, control of cash dispensing modules, and losses exceeding $40 million since 2020. Malware delivery via SVG files and Office documents. Multi-vector campaign exploiting CVE 2017-11882, PNG steganography, shared loaders and process hollowing, distribution of RATS and information stealers through a 4-stage execution chain, global Microsoft Teams outage, messaging disruptions affecting all regions and clients, message delays observed, full recovery within 1 hour, no indicators of malicious activity reported, Russian APT phishing campaign targeting Europe, HTML attachments masquerading as PDFs, credential exfiltration via formcarry.com, code reuse across campaigns, and targeting of government and NATO/EU linked entities. ATM jackpotting activity in the United States has been attributed to an organized criminal group deploying a variant of the Plutus malware. The tradecraft relies on physical access to ATMs, including chassis opening, inspection of external security mechanisms, and direct compromise of internal storage. Attackers either removed and modified the hard drive to install Plutus, or replaced it with a pre-infected drive, with some cases involving USB-based deployment. Plutus directly targets the cash dispensing module, allowing attackers to issue commands that force cache ejection. First observed in Mexico in 2013, the malware remains actively used in opportunistic campaigns. U.S. authorities estimate that ATM jackpotting attacks combining physical tampering and malware deployment have resulted in over $40 million in losses since 2020. The activity demonstrates a persistent threat model combining physical intrusion, specialized malware, and exploitation of ATM operational weaknesses. A targeted phishing campaign abuses Microsoft Office documents, SVG files, and compressed archives to compromise Windows systems through a shared commodity loader. Weaponized Office documents exploit CVE 2017-11882 in the equation editor to trigger code execution. Emails impersonate purchase order communications and deliver RR archives containing heavily obfuscated JavaScript payloads. Execution initiates a 4-stage chain leveraging PowerShell launched via WMI. A PNG image hosted on legitimate platforms carries base 64 encoded .n.et assemblies embedded through steganography and loaded directly into memory. An open-source task scheduler library is trojanized and recompiled to conceal malicious functionality. The final stage uses process hollowing by injecting payloads into a suspended RegAsm.exe process. Delivered payloads include PureLog Stealer, async-rate, remcos, dc-rate, and cat stealer. An opportunistic UAC bypass technique is observed. Infrastructure reuse suggests a shared delivery framework. Microsoft confirmed a service disruption affecting Microsoft Teams messaging functionality. The incident began on December 19, 2025, at 14:30 Eastern Time and impacted users across all regions, including the United States and Europe. Observed symptoms included message delivery delays and degraded service functions. All Teams clients were affected, including Windows and mobile applications. Microsoft reported ongoing analysis of telemetry data to identify impacted scenarios and determine the root cause. Gradual recovery was observed during the investigation. As of 15:30 Eastern Time, Microsoft confirmed full service restoration. No indicators of malicious activity or exploitation were reported at the time of recovery. A Russian APT conducted a credential phishing campaign targeting government entities across the Balkans and the Baltic region, active since at least 2023. The operation uses HTML attachments masquerading as PDF documents with target-specific institutional decoys. The HTML applies CSS blur effects to background images and presents a spoofed authentication form. Submitted credentials are processed by a complex client-side regex and exfiltrated via post request to formcarry.com, including entries failing validation. JavaScript logic and regular expressions are consistently reused across samples. A subset of lures deviates by loading external content from timesyncwindows.com, suspected to host additional malicious code. Observed targets include government bodies in Moldova, Ukraine, Bosnia and Herzegovina, North Macedonia, Bulgaria, Lithuania, and organizations associated with NATO and EU institutions. Amazon identified a North Korea-linked intrusion during an IT hiring process involving a system administrator claimed to be US-based. Persistent keyboard latency exceeding 110 milliseconds to servers in Seattle was consistently measured. This metric is incompatible with domestic connectivity and indicates intercontinental remote operation. Network traffic analysis traced the control infrastructure to China. Access relied on a local intermediary, providing a legitimate identity and administrative presence within the United States. Since April 2024, Amazon reports identifying and blocking more than 1,800 North Korea-linked fraudulent hiring attempts with a 27% quarter-over-quarter increase. The tradecraft abuses IT subcontracting pipelines to establish non-privileged internal access. And that's it. This episode ends. I hope it will provide you with clear and useful information. Until then, we don't think, we patch. If you are a new listener, feel free to subscribe to the RadioCSIRT podcast. We are available in both English and French on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube, Deezer, and Spotify. All open source intelligence links used in this episode are available on RadioCSIRT.com. See you tomorrow for a new episode. Take care. Goodbye from France.